Today we're going to take a look back at 9 of Homer Simpson's many different jobs, not including his role as safety inspector at the Springfield power plant. In Season 8 Episode 3, Homer gets a job as a professional boxer. When he finds out he has a rare condition called Homer Simpson syndrome that cushions his brain with a layer of fluid protecting it from injury, naturally the first thing Homer does is take up amateur boxing.
All right, Homer, let's see the left. Okay.
As Homer's new manager, Moe quickly finds out that punching isn't his game. But Homer can basically stand in the middle of the ring, taking punch after punch until his opponent gets so exhausted that Homer can simply nudge them over. This tactic gets Homer and Moe far, and they progress high into the amateur ranks. Eventually, Homer becomes known as the fighter who can't be knocked down and gets himself a world heavyweight title shot against Drederick Tatum, Springfield's answer to Mike Tyson. Homer goes on to lose the fight, but it's still an impressive achievement. In Season 9 Episode 19, Homer gets a job as a naval reservist after being fired from the nuclear power plant by Mr. Burns.
Whoa! You're fired!
After seeing an advert on television, Homer decides to join the Navy, but Marge isn't thrilled about it.
Not to worry, honey. We live in a highly technological age where fighting a war is as simple as turning off a light.
We don't have a clapper.
Despite his wife's concerns, Homer decides to enlist anyway, along with Apu, Moe, and Barney. While on duty, Homer is left in charge by the captain, and when they encounter what they think is an enemy sub, Homer makes the order to fire the torpedoes. Unfortunately, the actual captain was inside the torpedo tube trying to fix it. The gang's submarine is badly damaged in the confrontation, and is sinking due to a leak. As he's now officially captain, Homer steps up and saves everyone on board by plugging the leaking hole with Bart's earring. In Season 3 Episode 12 we see Homer in a number of different jobs, but I'll highlight my personal favourite when Homer worked as a door-to-door knife salesman. In this episode we look back at the story of Bart's birth. With Marge pregnant, Homer has to find a way to provide for his growing family. Homer tries out a number of different jobs, none of which he's particularly good at, but my personal favourite is when Homer goes door to door selling knives.
Shake hands with the Slashco! Handle first.
All the bad luck that Homer has with these jobs, and the need for a sustainable income, forces him to try and get a job at the new Springfield nuclear power plant. So although this episode was the story of Bart Simpson's birth, it's also the story of how Homer originally started working at the power plant. In Season 6 Episode 13, Homer gets a job at a bowling alley. In this episode we're once again taken to the past, this time with the story of Maggie's birth. After years of working at the nuclear power plant, Homer decides he wants to quit, and to provide for his family, he gets a job at a bowling alley. Homer absolutely loves his new job, and everything in his life is going perfectly.
I'm gonna make it after all!
But when Homer finds out that Marge is pregnant and Maggie is on the way, he realises that the money he earns at the bowling alley isn't enough to provide for his family. So Homer has to return to the power plant, on his knees, and beg Mr. Burns to give him his job back. In Season 2 Episode 15, Homer gets a job as a car designer. When he finds out he has a half-brother called Herb, Homer decides to try and contact him, and the Simpsons find out that Herb is rather successful. It turns out that Homer's brother made his millions in the car industry, and he decides that he wants Homer to design him a car for the average American.
I want you to help me design a car. And I want to pay you $200,000 a year.
And I wanna let you!
Homer does make the car, but due to its ugly design and high price it's an absolute flop, bankrupting his brother's business. Something of note, Homer's brother Herb was voiced by Danny DeVito. In Season 7 Episode 17, Homer gets a job as Mr. Burns' assistant. When Mr. Burns forces Waylon Smithers to take a vacation, he has to find a replacement that won't outshine him.
Dim-witted, monstrously ugly. Nuts to this. I'll just go get Homer Simpson.
Homer isn't very good in his new role, and Mr. Burns lets him know over and over again just how useless an assistant he is. Eventually, Homer loses his temper and punches Mr. Burns square in the face. Mr. Burns, now being terrified, learns how to look after himself so he doesn't have to deal with Homer, and eventually decides that he doesn't need an assistant at all, so Waylon Smithers is out of a job. Homer feels guilty about losing Waylon his job, so the two of them come up with a scheme to win it back. In Season 10, Episode 1, Homer starts a business selling grease.
Where do you think you're going?
It's the first day of school.
Not for you, it isn't. You're in the grease business now.
The father and son enterprise doesn't go so well, and Bart and Homer soon realise that in order to make paper money, they'll need one big score, so they target the grease traps at Bart and Lisa's school. Unfortunately, they run into groundskeeper Willie, who stops them from stealing the grease because he was planning to retire on it. In Season 10, Episode 20, Homer goes door to door selling springs. When Springfield is selected to host the next Olympic Games, the town is naturally thrilled, and Homer's mascot idea Springy is chosen for the games. After some poorly chosen material in Bart's stand-up routine infuriates the Olympic Committee, the town is robbed of the Olympic Games. So Homer is lumped with thousands of springs. Desperate to get rid of them, Homer decides to go door to door and try and sell them. But he soon finds out that the town is still furious with the Simpson family thanks to Bart and his antics. And finally, in Season 11, Episode 3, Homer gets a job as a food critic. When a local newspaper editor realizes that Homer has a passion for food.
Well, at least you like the food.
Oh, I like food all right. I like pizza. I like bagels.
He decides to give Homer the job as food critic. When Homer gives out too many bad reviews, the local chefs attempt to kill Homer by poisoning a donut. Luckily, Lisa saves the day by telling Homer it's low fat, and naturally, he tosses it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for choosing Project Toons, and please like and subscribe for more content.